Okay, good evening, everyone. Happy February. Thank you for zooming in. We'll start our meeting by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Um, we just wanted to let everybody know who is here to uh, listen in to the Becton referendum presentation. That Dr. Sforza's presentation will be at the end of our meeting. So please stay until the end of our meeting for the Becton referendum presentation. Our guest speakers tonight are Mr. G, Mrs. Burali, Mr. Barrow, and Mr. Velarde. Whoever would like to take the floor.
Thank you, Mrs. Green. It's always a pleasure to see everyone here at our PTA meeting. My apologies for not making the last meeting because we did have our reorg meeting in January, so I was unable to attend both meetings at the same time and same day. So welcome, everyone. So nice to see you all. A couple of things on the agenda for this evening is we're finalizing our last closure procedures for our school bond referendum that was completed. We're finalizing a couple of those odds and ends that are done with our team. On Monday, February 12th, we will be having the East Rutherford School District will be going under its CUSAC review, which reviews 5 areas of our school, which is instruction and programming, governance, sorry. We have in there personnel, as well as governance and operations. So all of those areas will be identified as we go through our long eval, which takes usually place around 9 o'clock in the morning and ends around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to just personally thank all of the district staff members, as well as my administrative team, Board of Education, for really rallying behind making sure that we have everything ready for our county officials. It is long and tedious, but well worth it, as it looks at all of our practices in the East Rutherford School District. Next on the agenda I have is our job fair. The Bergen County Association of Administrators holds each year a school job fair for all aspects of the school, teachers, administrators, paraprofessionals. There's a whole gamut of positions that are available in our district schools in Bergen County. It's going to be held on Saturday, March 9th at Pascack Hills High School, 225 West Grand Avenue in Montvale. If you know anyone who's looking for a teaching position in Bergen County, this would be a great opportunity for you to come in, sign on, look at all of the different opportunities that are available in Bergen County schools. So again, that's on March 9th at Pascack Hills High School. Also, I want to thank our parents and Mashio's Food Service. We're constantly getting feedback on our program at Mashio's Food, making sure that we're able to provide lunches that are healthy and delivered to our children. So if there's any other questions or anything like that pertaining to Mashio's, we always say to please contact your school, your child's school, as well as Mashio's Food Service. And if there's anything I can do as superintendent, please make sure that you let us know. Also, any outstanding food balances, one of the things that we're looking to do is to make sure that when we do have children that have outstanding payments, to please make sure to get those payments into your child's school principal, or you can deliver those payments to the board office located at 250 Grove Street in East Rutherford. So if there is we always send and populate a lot of notices to parents if there's any outstanding payments, to get those in as soon as possible. We greatly appreciate your cooperation. Our school calendar, we met Dr. Sforza, our school, that was the superintendent over at Becton, as well as Miss Allie Evans in Carlstead and Michael Jordan in Maywood. We all met together to unify our school calendar. Our school calendar for the 24-25 school year. I can't believe I'm saying 24-25 school year, but yes, 24-25 school year. We work together to make sure that we can join our spring break, other holidays that are in there, so that it's very easy. It's easier on parents with their scheduling of their personal things that they have going on in their lives. So we will be approving that at the board meeting in February, which is at the end of the month, which is actually middle of the month, the 15th, which is our regular Board of Education meeting. Let's see. Preparations for the 24-25 school year budget process has already started. Mr. Alex Veraci, who's our business administrator, started the ball moving on that, working with all of our administrative and building level teams to prepare a fiscally sound budget for the 24-25 school year. March will be our preliminary budget hearing, which will be in March, prior to the March 20 submission to the county office, and then later to follow a board hearing of our budget, which would be at our April Board of Education meeting. Okay, let's see. Again, I was not able to make the PTA meeting, but I want to congratulate our new board member, Miss Irina Mena, who had won the position. So congratulations, Irina Mena, a positive addition to our school board, as well as the incumbent Maria Caruso won again. So she's joining the board again. So to both ladies, thank you very much for your time. And it's going to be a positive experience for all. So again, congratulations. I also want to personally thank, on behalf of the Board of Education, Mr. Richard Vartan, who after 30 years of service has left the board for retirement. So wishing him all the best health and prosperity as he's in his retired years of serving East Rutherford, Beckton Regional High School boards of education for over 30 years. Currently, we still have our 3 snow days intact. We are, again, one of the biggest things for us is try to be able to keep our children in school. Just so you know, I do appreciate all of the cooperation and understanding. We do try to call school if we can the night before. The reason why we do that here at East Rutherford is I know a lot of parents were like, Mr. G, if you can give us some time instead of calling it at 6:15 just for preparations with our children, that would be great. We do make those calls in conjunction with South Bergen Joint Commission, Dr. Sforza at Beckton, Ms. Evans in Carlstead, and Michael Jordan in Maywood, as well as reaching out to Region 5 to see what they're doing, as well as the East Rutherford Police Department and DPW. So again, I wanted to thank all of those that are mentioned as we move to making decisions if we are going to close school, early dismissal, or delayed opening. And that's all I have, Mrs. Green. I know it was a little lengthy, but I have not been at the last PTA meeting, so it was a little bit longer than anticipated. But thank you.
No worries, Mr. G. Thank you so much for joining us this month. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. G? Please feel free to put it in the chat.
There are no questions in the chat.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mr. G. Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Velarde.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Happy February. I can't believe we are already approaching the middle of February. It is wild to think that we are quickly approaching the spring. Just some of the happenings that have gone on since the last time we met. We were very fortunate to have the PTA help us out with our laser light show back in the middle of January. It was the Black History Month light show. The students absolutely loved it. We were able to see some really cool representations of some of the historical figures in the Black community. And it was a really meaningful opportunity for them. So thank you again for that. Going off of that theme, February is Black History Month. So programming is infused throughout the curriculum. Major focus on celebrating the historical figures, the events, the achievements of the different community members. One thing that's really cool that I'm excited about is Miss Michelle, our art teacher. She's back now and she's working with our social studies department to collaborate on a series of quilts that are going to represent some of these historical contributions. So we're really excited to see and display those. The plan is to have one per floor throughout the building on display throughout the month once they're completed. So we're very excited for that. February 2nd was National School Rail Red Day. So we helped support the cause sponsored by the American Heart Association. The goal of that was to raise awareness to the importance of CPR in early care and emergency situations. So actually across the district, Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Barrow, all 3 buildings coordinated an opportunity to provide a staff donation to the American Heart Association as well. We have started our lead program, and I believe I saw that Detective Sergeant Felton was on here, and him and Detective Sergeant Alberta help coordinate the lead program. Law Enforcement Against Drugs, which is essentially for us that recall that is like a DARE 2.0. So we've had members of the East Rutherford Police Department in the building working with our 5th graders, and they will continue to do so throughout the spring. So thank you to the East Rutherford Police Department for that. And I will close out with today being probably the most exhausting day of the year. It was Global School Play Day again this year. So our 4th and 5th graders had an entire unstructured yet fully supervised day today. It is insanity in such a good way to see them come. We have kids building forts in the lounge areas, playing board games. I mean, you name it, we saw it. The students loved it. We really had a great opportunity today, seeing our staff, really like, getting on the floor and playing games with kids. It's really a great opportunity to get them to be creative, engage each other collaboratively. This was an opportunity for 4th and 5th graders to collaborate together, which they don't always get that chance. So, I'm sure many of them went home and shared some of their stories. We have all our reflections that we love to share out and check back to. So thank you to everyone who supported that. And last but not least, PTA again, thank you for the s'mores treats last month. Much appreciated. The staff loved them, and especially on those long days, a little chocolate never hurt anybody. So thank you again. Busy spring to come, and hopefully we get out with not too much more snow.
Thank you, Mr. Velarde, and yes, thank you for putting that onto the universe. No snow, please. It's been a great start to February, but it's been kind of warm, so I'm happy about that. Thank you, Mr. Velarde. Any questions for Mr. Velarde? Please feel free to put it in the chat.
Oh, Mr. Velarde, did you mention the Super Bowl food drive you're doing?
I did not. So we are running the Super Bowl food drive again this year. We have baskets set up in the main lobby for students to cast their vote. I actually have to check my cameras because I think somebody's moving some cans from the 49ers side to the Kansas City Chiefs side. So we're going to have to check into that. But, we encourage donations. We donate to the YMCA, the Meadowlands Y, each year when we do our food drive donation. So any and everything, any non-perishables are greatly appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Lyon, for that reminder. We had put the date for Monday the 12th, but we usually extend it a couple of days for any last minute donations because the more the merrier to help the community.
And I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat from Mr. Velarde.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mr. Velarde.
Thank you.
Mrs. Borelli, Mr. Barrow?
If it's okay, I'd like to cut in here. I'm actually at the boys basketball game here. We were down by 8. Now we're up by 9, and it's a tournament. So they're doing really, really well. And we have 1 quarter to go. So I apologize for me moving and walking, but I had to come here to support our team. And they are doing fabulous. With that said, we have had a lot of things going on at Bouts School. From the January meeting, unfortunately, I couldn't make that one either, but we've had the PTA generously have a Black History Month laser light show, and they absolutely loved it, the students, so thank you so much for that. We also had a couple of spirit days, which is, festive with the holidays theme as well as the winter theme. And now, of course, Valentine's Day. We had our spelling bee, which we had a winner, so I'm very excited about that. They will be going to Bergen Community College for the finals. The other thing we also have coming up a Black History Month presentation with our students, and they're in lessons, and they're also on the announcements every day. And I think for now, that's it. And thank you, PTA, for the s'mores and everything else that you do for us. We really appreciate it. And I hope everybody's having a nice winter. It's going to be over before we know it. Keep your fingers crossed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Borelli, and hope the boys basketball team brings out a win for us. So good luck, boys
I-
basketball, Fast boys basketball.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry again for cutting this short, but they're really on a roll here. And I'm excited for it.
No, enjoy the game. Enjoy the game.
Right.
Does anybody any questions for Mrs. Borelli? Please feel free to put in the chat.
There are no questions in the chat.
I also forgot to mention that report cards
Oh.
went out Friday. Our newsletter went out, so please, you'll see all the amazing things that we've been doing at Fowl School. You look at the newsletter, it's online. We sent it via Genesis class. So we're really excited about that too. And thanks again.
Thank you, Mrs. Borelli. Let's have a good game over there. Thank you.
Will do. Thank you.
Are we ready for Mr. Barrow?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lyon. Thank you, Mrs. Green. Hi, everyone. Um, just to jump on board with Mr. Velarde and Mrs. Barali, thank you, PTA, for the s'mores treat. It worked out really, really well. Much appreciated in January. In addition to Black History Month celebrations, thank you again. Minus the quilts, as Mr. Velarde noted, which sounds amazing. We're continuing to celebrate Black History Month during the month of February. We did have also the Wear Red Day and did some fundraising with that. So we're really excited. Appreciation to all the nurses for putting that together and all that contributed from a staff component. We also celebrated, it's our first year for Mackenzie, being an elementary school, Global Day of Play. The students really had a phenomenal time doing that. We did flex scheduling with it. It worked out really, really well, having the children walk in with board games this morning. Coming into classrooms, you'll see on the website, on the Twitter X handle and so forth, a lot of images between today and tomorrow that will be up. We are also in our annual Super Bowl can drive. It ends Friday, but as Mr. Velarde noted, we'll always take additional donations. But it ends Friday in reference to who the children would like to root for. So we do have different boxes labeled with the 49ers or the Chiefs, and we're at a deadlock at this point in time. So tomorrow we're doing Football Thursday, wear your favorite football jersey or any type of jersey. If you have one, it could be East Rutherford jersey and so forth. Anything Wildcat could work if they don't have a football jersey. But we're doing that tomorrow, and bring a can of food or non-perishable item. That would be phenomenal to donate to our local food pantry. We do have a lot of spirit days coming up. So we have tomorrow. We're also celebrating the 100th day of school on Friday, February 9th. We have a bunch of communications going out for all of our spirit days coming up. But on the 100th day, kindergarten annually at Mackenzie has a lot of fun dressing up like they're 100 days of school. So staff and students do that. Thank you, Mr. Lyons. He's showing all our spirit days. Appreciate that. But with that said, kindergarten is dressing up like they're 100 days or 100 years wiser, I should say. So they have a lot of fun with that. We usually get a good picture, and they have a lot of fun activities throughout the day. And as everyone else noted, we have a spirit day on Valentine's Day. And then we have a couple more to follow, as you could see here, going across the month of February. We do have parent-teacher conferences district-wide on Leap Day, Thursday the 29th. So please reach out to your teachers just to schedule an appointment. It's by appointment only for Mackenzie School. So with that said, just collaborate. If for some reason you don't need an appointment, the teacher collaborate with the teacher just to make sure that you have that communication across. Big questions that come up. One was in the chat for kindergarten registration. There will be a communication going out late February. Registration will start at some point in time towards the end of March for kindergarten registration. Please keep in mind, everything's done through the parent website through Genesis for registration. So all the information is up there, but you won't have access to that until we do a press release and communicate that out. And that's for the 24-25 kindergarten school year. All students need to be the age of 5 on or before October 1st, okay, of 2024. So that's something important as far as an age requirement. But please see our website. Please sign up for our app if we have incoming parents or current parents. So you'll get all those communications when that's updated, when you can register for kindergarten. Pre-K, we're just waiting for at this month, which is a norm. We get approval for tuition rates and the similar communication that goes out for our pre-K registration. We're looking to get that communication out the end of February, okay, as well, after the board meeting. And then in addition,
Donna needs water. Let's go.
in addition to that, for pre-K, the press release will go out for that as well. Something I want to be very clear, some questions have, we do have out-of-district tuition historically. So it's a question that has come up over all the years. We only service East Rutherford students only. Just want to be clear with that. We only service East Rutherford residents and students only first. And then if we have openings, then we open it up for out-of-district or out-of-town tuition-based programs. So if you see anything, there is a note on the bottom of that. But annually, I see a lot of parents on here that have gone through the lotto system and so forth that have been part of the pre-K program. It is a tuition-based program. It's a phenomenal program, but we do have some limitations with that, with sections and seats. So with that said, please make sure if you register within the time frame, we're expecting that it's March 1st to the 28th. So you have to completely register online between that time in order to be in the lotto. If you're a pre-K 3 parent, okay, you still need to do the re-registration within that time period, and all the communication within the press release will go over that, and there will be separate communications going out to the pre-K 3 families as well. Any pre-K 4 families, you will have to re-register for the kindergarten as well, and there will be a communication going through that as well to help you and guide you. Beyond that, we do have Read Across America coming up in March. We do it across the month. We do celebrate the day, even though it's over the weekend. So more communication will go out on Read Across America Day, which is usually March 2nd, which is a Saturday this year. However, we will send out a communication. We do welcome by appointment in collaboration with teachers annually to come read to your children within school. We also invite community members, board members, superintendent of schools, and so forth. It's one of amazing components to have community workers and parents come in to surprise their children to do a brief read aloud to their children. It's a fun experience. We're going to try to network to have 8th grade come, some select 8th grade students come to do some readings as well. I'm going to work that out with Mrs. Barali. In addition to that, we have Becton's National Honor Society. Last year was the first year they did that with Mackenzie School. And we're going to keep that as an annual component. They're coming in to do some read alouds to our students as well. We continue with celebrating Students of the Month, Roar Assemblies monthly, highlighting our students and staff's great work. And it's been a great but very busy January and February. And I'm trying to think of one more thing. We have kindergarten concert is set. There will be a save the date going out to parents in the near future, maybe next week sometime. It is set for Thursday, March 20th at 9:30 a.m. at Mackenzie School Multipurpose Room. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow. Any questions for Mr. Barrow? Please feel free to put it in the chat.
We did have the one question that Mr. Barrow did address, which was about the kindergarten registration, but there's no other questions in the chat.
Thank you, Mr. Barrow. Mr. G and the administrative team now have a
Thank you.
CUSAC prep meeting they need to attend. So thank you for zooming in, Mr. G and administrative team, and good luck on Monday with the CUSAC evaluation.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Green. I really appreciate it. I'm sure we're going to do
Thank
well.
you.
We've been working really hard. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night. For anyone who just joined us recently, the Becton referendum presentation will be at the end of our meeting. So just please stay zoomed in as we go through our agenda items. Next.
Sorry, we had one correspondence this month. Dear Mrs. Green and members of the East Rutherford PTA, please let us take this opportunity to thank you and the members of the PTA for the delicious hot cocoa and s'mores pops that were delivered to our office staff on January 17th, 2024. Everyone was thrilled to receive this special treat on such a cold, icy day. We are also appreciative of your thoughtfulness and generosity. What a lovely way to help us stay warm and get rid of that winter chill. Warm regards, Regina Borelli, Principal A.S. Faust Middle School, Peter Velarde, Principal Lincoln School, and Mr. Brian Barrow, Principal Mackenzie School. And that is all the correspondence this month.
Thank you, Kevin. Treasurer's report.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So for the January Treasurer's Report, we had a couple of fundraisers, mainly the movie night. In the month of January, we have an ending balance. The PTA has an ending balance of $14,032.85. And the 8th grade committee has an ending balance of $4,659.76. And everything is balanced.
Thank you, Paula. And if anybody wants to take a look at the treasurer's report in depthly, it will be posted on the PTA page on the district website. So please check it out. Thank you, Paula.
Okay, hi everybody. So as far as membership goes, we have 241 members currently. In addition to that, we recently just wanted to talk about movie night a little bit. We just had our movie night on January 28th at the Williams Center. And we wanted to try a different venue this year, and the Williams Center was really helpful and responsive to us. And we also liked that we were also able to bring some attention to them as well, since they support cultural arts in our community. And we had a pretty good turnout, so I hope everybody that did come enjoyed themselves. We have received some pretty positive feedback so far. So thank you to everyone who came to the movie night and supported the PTA. And thank you to all the staff members that helped promote the event as well.
Thank you, Alyssa. 8th grade committee, Yuck.
Hi, good evening. I'll make this quick since we have to, I know we have a presentation at the end. So we had a Valentine's Day dance that's scheduled for February 9th. However, we learned that the boys basketball team will have a game. Unfortunately for us, we have to work on rescheduling that since a lot of our attendees will be conflicting at both events. So it wouldn't be a good fundraiser if we lost half of our kids to the basketball games happening that evening. Hopefully the next day that will get approved pending the Board of Ed meeting is for March 12th. Hopefully that's going to be the date of our next dance. The week prior to that, we'll also hold our annual basketball fundraiser. That's against our beloved East Rutherford men and women in uniform with the police department, fire department. So that'll take place at Becton. And in other fun news, we've also locked down our formal night venue, which has been a lot of back and forth. So we're happy to announce that we'll be holding it at the Grey Cliff, which is going to be great. And yeah, and just lastly, just thank you to Mrs. Browley for everything and for answering a lot of questions, as well as Paula for sitting down with me to review the 8th grade budget and sort of like the fundraising status. So that's really good to be fiscally accurate and responsible. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Yuck. Wow, we're already talking about the formal. It's 4 months to go. It goes fast. Great Cliff is great, so I'm glad you guys were able to get the Great Cliff. Thank you, Yuck. Okay, so new business. We do have a few things we're working on in the next few months that are coming up. Kids Night Out. Tara?
Hi, good evening, everybody. So, Kids Night Out is going to be held on March 22nd. It's a Friday night. That's for the Lincoln students, 4th and 5th graders. And then on Saturday, March 23rd, we will be having the Mackenzie students. So, more details on the times and the permission slips will come out. We are looking for volunteers. It is a pretty big event. So, it's better in numbers. It is a lot of fun for the kids. There's DJ, games, snacks. We always have a photo booth and prizes. So the kids really, really look forward to it. So to make it successful, we definitely need some volunteers. Just be on the lookout for a committee meeting. We'll host a meeting probably by the end of February. So you could just email me and I'll put my email in the chat for anybody who is looking to volunteer. So thank you so much. And that's held at the Civic Center.
Thank you, Tara. So anybody who's interested in joining the Kids Night Out Committee and helping, volunteering at all, please reach out to Tara. Thank you, Tara. Tricky.
All right, so hi everybody. So our Tricky Tray is scheduled at the Civic Center for May 17th. It's a Friday night. We currently have a committee that's been hard at work trying to get donations. So if you own a business, know a business, want to just donate funds, items, anything, we're looking for all kinds of donations right now. Even things as simple as like a basket or a picture frame that we can display items in. You can reach out to me or anyone on the PTA here, and we can get you connected with us. So it should be a really great evening. We haven't started selling tickets or anything like that yet, but be on the lookout for some of that in the next month or so. We have some awesome donations already, so I think it'll be a lot of really good stuff.
Thank you, Jill. And we want to let everybody know we have our Spirit Wear Pajama Pants sale currently running this week. All pajama pants are $10 off, both youth and adult sizes. So check out our online Spirit Wear site. And our next meeting is Wednesday, March 6th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. So anyone who is interested in joining us again, please, we'll see you at March 6th. Happy 100th day on Friday. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy Valentine's Day. And thank you for zooming in. Anyone who is here for the Becton referendum presentation, Dr. Sforza, the floor is yours. Good luck, and please vote on March 12th.